Hey guys, how's it going? Jam here, and welcome to round 3 of the Formula Rookie European Championship, coming to you from Donnington, the one and only circuit in this European Championship that I have raced before on this game. Obviously with Donnington being in the UK, this track was also in the UK Championship that I started off in. Now, a couple of things to mention before I start commentating on the round. Firstly, as a change in the settings, I've taken off the pesky track limits that seem to love to give me really harsh penalties. I don't like turning things like that off, but when it's giving me penalties for making mistakes and not for actually cutting the corner, like, I don't mind a little bit of curb hopping if I genuinely gain an advantage by cutting the track. Then I will lift off myself and try and compensate, and that's what I should have done there. I should have lifted off a lot earlier so to not run in the back of the person in front of me. And the other change in this episode, you may be able to see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, the damage indicator is now going green rather than I think it was previously sort of greyed out. And that's because, along with changing the setting for the track limits, I've also turned on damage finally. It's something I keep mentioning, but I keep forgetting to do. So this is indeed the first time on this game actually that I've turned damage on, and I've got no idea how it really works, but yeah, it's going to be something that I'm definitely going to have to watch out for. So hopefully running into that car earlier on in that other clip didn't cause me too much harm, as I'm going to run into the back of this car once again. Let's hope, yeah, that doesn't cause too much damage, because as I say, no idea how it's going to work, but it's certainly going to be something to look out for. I did quickly also want to mention, as I got up the inside of the pesky car that I keep running into, it's been a bit longer of a break since the last episode than I thought there would be. As I've mentioned a few times, I am currently away. I have been since just before New Year. But I do have my Xbox with me, so I have been able to do some things. I've still been able to take part in the heists with Fail Race, but I just simply wasn't expecting to have any other videos to upload apart from those few and the ones of this series that I pre-recorded. But apparently I've had quite a few, so yeah, I'm going home tomorrow, and I've still got one more pre-recorded video from this series to watch, so that'll be up at some point in the next few days as well, providing that I don't have anything more to upload, because the V8 Juniors has just started. The introduction video for that went up the other day, and that went down relatively well, and the first round also went quite well, so I'm going to bring you my highlights from that. So yeah, I'm trying to upload either every other day or every 3 days. I try not to leave it 4 days without a break. So it'll be a video, then a break day, then a video, or a video, then 2 break days, then a video. I try not to leave it any longer than that. At the rate I'm going, I'm going to have to start uploading daily occasionally, I think, or at least on consecutive days occasionally, because yeah, I'm starting to have a bit of a backlog of videos, and it's kind of annoying. So as I say, this video that I recorded right here, or that you're watching right here, I actually recorded 2 weeks ago, and I'm now only getting around to doing the commentary because I'm going to try and put it up today. But anyway, I'm waffling on, but there's not a huge amount going on in the background. Practice finished without too many more mistakes, as you know, and as I've mentioned, I have been to this track before in this car, so I do know it somewhat, and fortunately it was raining last time I was here as well, so it's something that I haven't really got to adapt to. The only thing is, of course, that damage model that I've mentioned did hit a few people in practice, but I don't think it was anything particularly serious. And we come right now to finish off my first qualifying lap. Even with a few mistakes, this is going to be my fastest lap. I think the weather got worse, and it does provisionally, at least, put me on pole position, although only 5 people had set a time at that point. Although saying that, come the end of the session, and it would be pole position, which is by far my best qualifying position since I've been running this current AI setup. So we start the race with a clear grid in front of us, the lights go out, we get a half decent start. It's actually my teammate alongside me on the front row, so it's a 1-2 for, is it Team Bolton Racing I think I'm racing for? So a nice clean start, running down into turn 1, and hopefully it will be a case of just controlling the pace from here on in. You can see in the top right hand corner in the replay cameras there's a little bit of fighting going on for P2. My teammate coming under quite a lot of pressure from the white and red car. It's always that white and red car that seems to get involved in everything. Right from the very first episode in Knockhill, I remember overtaking him and being able to read that it was the number 2 car as I get very sketchy through the fast right-hand corner. And it is that red and white car that's got past my teammate. My teammate's looking at dropping back to P4, not intending to, but it looks like he might do. And the red and white car is going to be putting me under quite a lot of pressure. I stick it around the outside and just about managed to keep the lead for the time being. Of course, this is now a completely dry track. Not the first time I've driven here in the dry, but the first time I'm in this session that the track has been dry, because both practice and qualifying, of course, you would have seen, were both in the wet. Going down the back straight now, flicking into the settings and changing my brake bias. I really should do that in the actual tuning setup, because it's something I constantly forget to do, and I'm always fiddling about with it in each session. Take quite a lot of curbing through the final chicane there. Probably something I would have got a slowdown penalty for, but it wasn't so serious that I gained masses of time. So that's the kind of thing, to be honest, I'm not too fussed about. If you were taking it uber seriously and racing in a league with lots of other people, then maybe you want to make sure you're that little bit cleaner with a little bit more of an allowance for staying on the track. But like in the last episode, I completely wiped a guy out with about 3 corners to go, and then someone massively cut the track in order to stay in front of me after that. So with the amount of shenanigans that have been going on with the AI and also my driving, that was a big moment. But yeah, being this just an offline career mode, I'm not taking it quite as seriously as I would if I was racing against sort of other humans, as it were. My teammate actually is trying to go round the outside there. I stick it to the inside, and I do manage to carry the momentum up the inside and going over the curbing there, but keeping on to P2 ahead of my teammate. And as we head down the long back straight, my focus is very much changing to be on the lead car in front. I've actually got a pretty good run sitting in his slipstream, and we saw at the first round of this series, and we found out a few different times, that slipstream is actually really effective on this game, especially in these cars, it seems. And that was a nice clean move up the inside into the chicane, keeping all 4 wheels on the track this time, maybe dipping onto the curb a little bit, but much cleaner than the other lap that I mentioned. Or the other lap, there's only been one other lap, because that was the end of lap 2. But that's the end of lap 2, and back into the lead of the race. Nice, and back at the front where we started, getting a little bit of a slide on round turn 1. But again, it's minor mistakes like that don't really cost you too much time. You haven't got to worry about. The only thing you've got to worry about with that sort of slide is losing it, because it's very easy to do on this game, and overcorrecting as well is quite a big issue. A lovely run through that fast right hand corner, although you can see in the replay camera I'm still losing ground to the car behind me. That corner there, that very fast sort of bottom of the hill corner, as it were, is where the AI were phenomenally quick. It was really, really hard to keep the pace through that corner. As you've seen already this race, I think I've gone through it 3 times, and that was the only clean time I've taken it. I had quite a moment through there on both of the previous laps. But once again, down the long back straight, we are holding position as we come towards the final few corners. Or what do you call a chicane? Is a chicane technically 2 corners, or is it 1 corner? I suppose it's 2 corners, but it's only really classed as 1 chicane. I don't know. I'm waffling because there's not much going on right now, but I am leading the race, which is a good thing. That's on to lap 4. If we can finish this lap in the lead, that'll be halfway there. The tyres are perhaps looking a little bit overheated. Front left wearing down a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be an issue by the end of the race. I don't think we've got any damage at this point. I can't really read the numbers on the indicator because it's not my preview window. It's quite big. It's nowhere near full screen, but it's not, because it's not processed, the quality of the image isn't brilliant, so I can't read the numbers quite so clearly. Get a little bit of a slide through that pesky corner again, and losing a little bit of time to my best lap delta, and somehow managing to run off through the very straight bit. And we're actually under pressure. We've got the white car going around our outside. We're sticking it on the curb. Can we hold him off? He's still on the outside. He's gone all the way around the outside and has taken the lead. Not good. But we did see, was it on the last lap, or it might have been the lap before? We was in a very similar position to this, in the slipstream, pulling out. Hopefully we'll get him under brakes into the chicane for the final corner, and then cross the line once again back in the lead, braking nice and late over the apex on the inside, and clearing his car so we didn't have to go around the outside for the second part of the chicane, hitting the apex on that, and then accelerating down towards the finish line. And the AI do seem to back off quite a bit once you sort of 3/4 away in front of them, even if they've got their nose slightly alongside. So we do actually manage to pull quite a gap by the time we sort of get down towards turn 1. It's not a massive gap, but considering we've only just made the move, a few car lengths is somewhat significant. But it seems as though the most important part of every lap is this corner right here. We need a good run around it, otherwise we're just going to get swallowed up by the AI. Looks as though I actually had a really good run round there that time, just dropping the inside onto the inside of the curb, but that white and red car just seems phenomenally quick around there. He's putting us under pressure. He's actually maybe having a look up the inside, not quite close enough. I think I defended somewhat decently there, and we once again hold on to the lead. Trying to sort of almost help out the teammate as well, because he's putting the pressure on for P2 himself now. Has he actually got the position? He has. Where's the white and red car? He's actually dropped all the way down to 4th place. So, yeah, having half a look at overtaking me has really cost him there, because he's dropped not 1 but 2 further positions. So what could have been 1st place for him has turned into 4th. He's not even on the podium anymore. That's really rather abysmal. We crossed the line now onto lap 6. This one and then 2 more to go. And hopefully we can bring it home for my first win of the series. This is round 3 of 5. There's not a very long series at all, so I really need to start picking up my results, because the first 2 races weren't brilliant. They weren't abysmal, but they really could have done with being better if I want to challenge for the title in this series. Once again, most important corner of the circuit coming up. I cut it a little bit with half of the car, and actually had a really bloody good run round there that time. That seems to be the way to go. Checking the replay camera, didn't exactly pull a gap through there, but I don't think my teammate's going to be close enough to have a look at overtaking me, so I'm perfectly content with that. Taking a nice line around the right hander at the top of that part of the track, and then we're climbing again into the braking zone. Getting a little bit on the grass and missing the apex massively, having a big moment as we go down onto the back straight. I really could have done without doing that, because as I've already mentioned a few times, slipstream seems to be pretty good, and I can't seem to get the car off the grass. Come on, how hard is it to drive in a straight line? Have we got maybe a little bit of damage? I'm just looking at the steering input. Maybe I have a little bit of damage. I'm not sure where from. That might be a 1. I really can't read the numbers. The steering angle does... When did we pick up that damage? There is very definitely... That steering wheel is not straight, is it? When did we pick up that damage? We haven't hit anyone, have we? I don't think so. But apparently that damage, getting on the grass ever so slightly down the back straight, really hindering me there, because yeah, ended up losing a place. It is to my teammate though, so it's not the end of the world. You know, if anyone's going to overtake me, I don't want anybody to, but if there is going to be somebody overtaking me, I would like it to be my teammate, because you know, it is a team sport, sort of, at the end of the day. We have a fantastic run on him up through here though. I did really well through the chicane on the corner that I don't like, and I think he's actually on different tyres there. I'm on racing slicks. Oh no, we've bumped him. Oh, we've bumped him, and we've got steering damage. That's the front of the car. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. I hope he hasn't got damage as well. I was well and truly up the inside. I thought there was plenty of space there, but even over the curb, he seemed like he turned in on us almost. Clipped my front left on his rear right. I hope it hasn't affected his drive or anything, because yeah, look at the steering angle I'm having to hold in order to keep the car straight. That is not ideal, and it makes judging the next corner very, very difficult indeed. They want me to pit for the damage, but there's only 1 more lap left after that. After this, I've just got to stick it out. Just got to stick it out and see if I can at least hold on to maybe 2nd place. But there, I think is it 17 front damage. Oh no, I've completely... Sorry to the blue car there. I just did not see him flying up the inside of my mirrors. I completely turned across him there. As I said, you know, certainly the AI though, so who really cares? I do try and race properly though, and I'd say I do feel bad. I didn't notice that he was that far alongside me. That's yeah, oh, that's an interesting moment there. The white and red car that seems to get... Oh, that's not the white and red car, that's white and orange car. Maybe that's why I think it's always a white and red car. Maybe there's multiple of them. But yeah, that was a bit sneaky. He really didn't have anywhere near enough of the inside line to have a look at going up the inside, and that's not a corner where you want to do it either. Just tagged my rear end and spun me across the grass, and I've dropped to P3. Really not on him. I wouldn't have thought... Yeah, you can't overtake there. You can't even have a look at it. But even with a very, very broken car, I'm wrestling it around this final lap. We've got no straight line speed, but we are still in third place. That blue car is going to come back at us again. Can we try and hold it into the final corner? Unfortunately not. He just braked later than us around the outside. We don't have the grip in this car, and we do come across the line to finish in 4th position after a dreadful, dreadful moment where I made contact with my teammate. But unfortunately that is going to be it for this episode. We're not going to be able to see how that affects me in the standings because unfortunately I didn't look at it in this bit of footage. But that is the end of the episode, so until next time, like, comment and all that grabs, but goodbye.